All right, all praises be to the Most High God, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Just wanted to bless the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, which is the God of heaven and earth, and His only begotten Son. Right, all praises. Kol Halo Yamla Yahweh Bahashib Yahweh Shai. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel, and Barak Yamla Habayath Madabada. Blessings to the house of David, which are you brothers is laboring in truth and in sincerity on the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect, and to you Akim and Akwath that listen and believe on the glorious gospel being preached unto you. I say Shalom, Shalom, and Barakathum. Call Bakarium, all you believing brothers and sisters. And it's the brother Sagalai back with a lesson all through the spirit, and I'm gonna jump into it from this article here, which is from Radically Pragmatic, and it's from progressivepolicy.org, titled Radically Pragmatic. Now it says, fact, U.S. drug overdose deaths are down 21.7% from 2023 to 2024. So there's a lot of numbers here, right? And it goes, this is the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control. Estimates has been given, speaking about overdose. Now, it says what they mean. It says some background and then a wide view look. Deaths to drug overdoses in the United States rose fast and steadily for 2 decades. The Center for Disease Control estimated 17,400 deaths in 2020, 41,500 in 2012, 43,697 in 2016, 92,500 in 2020, and peaks above 110,000 in 2022 and 2023. For context, the 112,582 deaths in 2022 is 50% above that year's combined 42,514 deaths to car accidents. So you see how much more vast, the numbers are when it comes to people overdosing, right, off drugs. And I was going to get into specifically fentanyl, so on and so forth, showing you that these Edomites have been plagued. These plagues, as we know in Deuteronomy 30:7, are coming back unto our enemies very heavily. But there's still a lot of Jakes that are counted in there as well. Right? Now, let's continue on. It goes on to say synthetic opioids, in particular fentanyl, are the main cause, accounting for 87,155 or 78% of all American drug overdose deaths in 2023. Now it goes on to say the CDC's most recent numbers show a startling change. Drug overdose deaths turned down in the mid-2023 and have been falling ever since. The CDC's latest estimates cover August 2024. These report 89,740 overdose deaths over the 12 months since September 2023, a drop of 22,000 or 21.7% from the 111,464 estimated from September 2022 to August 2023. Now, it goes on to speak about specific states. Now, it says here, what explains this? What's the reason for the drops? Probably not any single factor, but complementary developments in 3 broad areas. And this is what this here is all about. The topic of this lesson is going into a term called Hopium. Now, we'll get to that term here in a second, and it lists the reasons why there's been drops, right? It says some reduction abroad and at home, or source reduction, meaning the source of the fentanyl is being reduced. Treatment, education. So these are some of the reasons that they're given, and then here are the numbers again. Now, at the end of the day, this is all hopium. Let's get hopium here. This is all hopium, which is hopium is a clinging to unreasonable or unfounded hopes. Hopes that are unfounded are things that are not real, right? Meaning it doesn't exist. Unfounded hopes. Now, in contrast, the believing brothers and sisters that make up the household of faith, they actually, when you read in Hebrews 11, starting at verse 1, we actually have hope of salvation in the word and in this truth, knowing that the words of the Most High are faithful and true, and that his words won't come back unto him void. So we actually have true hope. But the people in this world, are trusting, you know, and believing in the government, believing in Donald Trump, who they voted for overwhelmingly. Their trust and faith is in this world themselves. Their whatever their jobs, whatever talents they might have, money, right? So hopium is all of these things, and we'll get the term some more. Now it goes on. Let me get the one here. Urban Dictionary. Hopium, the metaphorical substance that causes people to believe in a false hope. It is often paired up with copium, meaning to cope, opposed to copium, which represents the rationalization of the current situation. Hopium represents the belief that the situation will someday improve. So you have many people who believe that Babylon is going to turn around and that ultimately, somehow, some way, this place is going to come back. It's going to come roaring back, right? But that's not so. Now, hopium is a drug, right? It's a metaphorical drug. And this drug is what, a lot of our people have followed here, following Esau, which that drug is stimulus checks, EBT, Section 8, retirement benefits and pensions, the American dream, freedom of choice, the freedom of religion, feminism, right? The alphabet, people and community, democracy, generational wealth, 401k, all these things, these are all forms of what's known here as hopium. This is all hopium, which is a drug, and the reason why a lot of our people today and the so-called Americans today are completely asleep. Let's show that here in Wisdom of Solomon, because it tells us the earth will be in darkness here in the last days, and gross darkness to people. There's a reason for that. Wisdom of Solomon 4:12, for the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind. So those that are simple-minded are those that don't have the truth, right? Those are those that are simple-minded. So they have been seduced. That's what it means to be bewitched, right? The bewitching of naughtiness, right? Being taught and shown things that are not true. Which one of those major things is that not trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not trusting in the Holy Scriptures, the word of truth, not returning to the commandments for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Anything else is hopium, right? Which is something that's not real. And then you learn naughtiness, it says here in Wisdom of Solomon 4:12. It says, doth obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence, strong sexual lust and desire. This is spiritually. Doth undermine the simple mind. This makes our people very simple, which is ultimately not having the truth, because the scriptures tell us that having the truth is what converts us from simplicity, which is not knowing, right? Being foolish, to being wise. This is get a few, Psalm 19:7. It says, the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. So this is what takes us from simplicity to wisdom, right? As opposed to being bewitched. That's the difference. Now, Babylon is going to be destroyed. So whether it's the crisis that's going on still with drug overdoses here in America, which is ripping through these Edomites, you so-called white people, they bear a lot of those numbers. Or whether it's the major mass layoffs going on, whether it's and the loss of jobs, all the economic problems, all the rates and the stock market going crazy. No matter what it is, it's all really working in conjunction together. And all of it really, shows that Babylon, the great America, is done. This place is done. So having hopium or belief in all the things that's made this place, have power and continue power, it just shows you that that's delusion, which is another part of hopium is that delusion is because it spoke about something being irrational, insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. Voting every 4 years is an example of that, right? That's another great example of that. So Jeremiah 51:9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. We're supposed to turn and come out of the ways of Babylon. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So the judgment of this place, which is also recorded in Revelation 18:5, have reached unto heaven, right? This is Revelation 18:5. For her sins, speaking of Babylon, have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. So now Babylon is about to be rewarded when we read in verse 6, double. So the Most High has not forgotten the sins of this place, the wickedness that's been done to the tribes here, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So there's no hill in Babylon because the Most High is actually making good on the promises that he made to the elect. Now it says to forsake her. That brings this to mind. It's the book of Zechariah, the 2nd chapter, should be around 6. Zechariah 2. Now here, the title you see on the right-hand side, it says the exiles are called home. That would be the elect, right? The elect are being called home, are being called to return to their power. Zechariah 2:6, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, another name for America. In the scriptures, saith Yahweh, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith the Lord Yahweh. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. And how are we to be delivered? By returning to the law, statutes, and commandments and having faith, right? In hopes of being of the elect that's going to make it out of here, that unnumbered multitude. So we have to deliver ourselves by returning. The Most High set this up for us now, this truth, to be able to actually return, right? So all the tribes here today, 66.6% or 2/3 actually are drunken with the wine of Babylon and are drunken with hopium, right? The belief that something is just somehow going to change, right? Which nothing's never going to change. The church, the Christian church and Catholicism, none of that never did anything for our people. It's this truth that's actually, causing an uproar in the earth, causing the believers to return and worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, as it says in John 4, verses 22 and verse 23. Isaiah 6:8, also I heard the voice of the Adawan saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. And he said, speaking to Jeremiah, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. And this is our people when they see this truth on the internet or when they walk by the camps, right? Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. That's how simple salvation is, right? Verse 11, then said I, Adawan, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted. How long are our people going to be like this? How long are they going to continue, to re-up over and over again with hopium, with their hits, right? That dopamine. Then said I, Adawan, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted, till Babylon is destroyed, without inhabitant, because ain't nothing or nobody going to be left here. And the houses without man, and the land, it says, be utterly desolate. So until this place is destroyed, our people are going to continue to have, hopium, right? Which is the belief that something's going to change without doing anything. Once again, insanity, expecting something different and doing the same thing. So now, for them, the main reason that this hopium is not working for these naysayers, these non-believers. Let me get this here. This is the main reason that this hopium is not working and it's run its course. Here's the main reason. 2 Ezra 6 and verse 27. Matter of fact, let me start up. 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. See, this is what our people are not considering, right? By not having this truth. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And the men of the Lord are out sounding the trumpet now. But ultimately, when these cities are cast down and there's civil unrest and civil war and chaos and anarchy, or what I call total slaughter, this is when this is what's going to make people truly want to consider the words of truth. They're going to be searching for the truth, and they won't be able to find it. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. It says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your worlds. This is the end of the rule of the wicked. This is the end of hopium. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. So this is when chaos is here, right? Things are going to change. Things are going to change in a matter of seconds, right? The order of the things in the earth. The Bible says the woman has surpassed the man. Jeremiah 31:22. That's going to change. Isaiah 4:1 is going to make that change. The so-called white man ruling, right? The cruel oppressor, and all of his wicked laws and unrighteous decrees. That's all going to change because it's going to be anarchy. So this is going to be the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai actually turning everything right side back up, because it tells us in Psalm the 82nd chapter, the whole earth is out of course. 2 Ezra 6 and 27, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. This is lies. This is the reason why the hopium ain't working no more, right? Because, aforetime, our people, would be given, certain things would be done, maybe the civil rights movement, whatever the case is. You had the American Indian movement. You also had the young lords that stood up. So you had all the tribes fighting against Esau at different times, but over time, everything just went back to how it was. Now, the difference with the truth is going to remain here to the end. As for faith, it shall flourish. That's the returning of the elect. It's flourishing. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared, because the truth is being declared, right? So now this is about endurance and faith and remaining resolute, being a good soldier for the anointed, Yahushua HaMashiach. So that's what the elect are doing today, standing on this truth, standing on this word, and standing on business. So hopium no longer works. Matter of fact, let me get this other one showing you that hopium doesn't work no more. This comes to mind in Ephesians, the 4th chapter. So the elect are standing on the words of the Most High. So hopium, right, has no place no more. Right, it has no relevance to the believers. This is Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carry about with every wind of doctrine, which is the ways of the world, right? It says, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So we're not deceived no more, because the elect have this truth. As it tells us in Matthew the 24th chapter, that the very elect, would be deceived, but they cannot be deceived. So we're not tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine, right? Whatever the latest fad and trend is, that doesn't have any effect on the believers anymore. The true believers, the men and the women that standing up, first and foremost, starting with the men, of course, but the believers that are actually being accompanied by this truth, the truth being that guide, that guiding light. Let's show that in the book of Proverbs. So the truth is the difference. That's the difference in, the minds of the elect. Now this is Proverbs 4:17. It says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." This is Esau, Edom, and all of our people, the 66.6%, or known as the children of disobedience, or the 2/3. They're doing the same thing. But the path of the just, the righteous, is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. So the truth is shining more and more. So, the believers that possess this truth are shining more and more and getting stronger and stronger. Verse 19, "The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble." So the ways of wickedness and evil, once again, is being quenched, is being put out. So those that are following the ways of America, Babylon the Great, and those that are continuing to try to fill up with this hopium, well, is running out, right? Is running out. And the only thing that's left truly is this truth for the elect, because it's not going to be nothing to grasp for or try to hold on to, because it's a nothing burger, right? It's a nothing burger, which is Babylon the Great. All praises be to the Most High God, Yahweh, and His Son Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Holo Yamla, Allah Hayanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. All praises to our God, our power, Yahweh, and His Son Yahweh Shai. Honors be to the elect elders, and Barakim La Habayath, Madabadah, blessings to the house of David, which are you brothers laboring, and to the Akim and Akwath, brothers and sisters that also listen and believe on the glorious gospel that's being preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Unto you, I say shalom, shalom, and barakatah, Yad.